Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you are all having a wonderful week and staying safe during this COVID lockdown. I think most of the countries are under lockdown. That is an opportunity that we need to use to do something. Talking about an opportunity, our course is starting this Tuesday on the 14th of April. Right, so we usually have one session from 1800 GMT for about 3 hours. So with the lockdown, most people will have time because most, I understand, are staying at home, working from home. So would have an opportunity and time to be able to attend the course. So we're going to have 2 sessions per day for the course. Right, so if you're interested in attending the course, our live course starts this Tuesday, 1800 GMT. The first day we're going to have only one session because this is a bit short notice. So from Wednesday going forward, we're going to have 2 sessions. It's a 10-day course. It's usually a 10-day course, but because we're going to have 2 sessions per day, it's going to end up being an 8-day course. So we've got a lot of time. We've got a time to interact. So the course is available on our website. You can check out our website at Elliott Wave Principle. You can find the link under the description of my videos. So more detail about the course, you'll find it there on our website, and you can also purchase the course on the website as well. So it's available immediately as soon as you purchase it. So the idea with the live course is that after watching the course, you'd obviously have questions. So it is the live course will be it's an interactive session where you get to ask questions, anything that you've ever had issues with regarding the wave theory. You get an opportunity to ask during the live course. So that is that about the course. So for South Africans, the US dollar ZAR is at all-time highs currently, so that means the cost will be very expensive for South Africans. So we've got a special price for South Africans. You can send an email to inquire about the South African price if you're making an EFT transfer via a South African bank. Right, so that is what we are doing to assist them. So from Tuesday, as I said, all day we're going to be just doing the course. So what do you get with the course? The course will give you access to our trading, to our premium plan on the website. So on the premium plan, you get access to all these pages that you see there. So we've got a daily live webinar. So that daily live webinar is also recorded under the daily video recording, as you can see. For those members that are in different time zones that are not able to attend the daily webinars, the daily webinars is from 11 a.m. South African time, that is 9 a.m. GMT on a daily basis, Mondays to Fridays. So you also get the full course package there, and you get access to all the groups, all the wave counts for all the pairs that I'm going to go through here today. So all the pairs that you see me going through, they are all listed on our website. So from the US dollar pairs, as you can see, I've got US dollar pairs open. You get access to the weekly charts all the way down to the 1 hour charts on all the listed pairs. So that means at any time you can go into these charts and look at what we are viewing as the direction. These are the latest charts, all updated. So that means we are ready for the next week, and all our charts are updated. All right, so let's just see what we've been busy with. In the week, the market has been a bit slow, but even with a slow market, we were able to get some good trades in the week. So I'm just going to go through the market update, the recap of some of the trades that we took in the week. So let's look at some of the trade recaps. Right, so I'll start with AUD US dollar. I think most of you have seen our analysis on AUD US dollar. If you go to the previous videos, this one was posted on, let's just have a look at this one. This was posted on the 28th of March. We were looking for a corrective structure here. So we don't trade the we don't trade the correction, we trade the pulsing move. So we've got that pulsing move, we got the correction, we got the pulsing move. Just a second. Right, just 1 second there. All right, so this is what we were looking for. You would have found this posted as a on the update, on the 60-hour update on our charts on the website. This is what we had. We were looking for this. So we don't trade the corrections, we trade the impulse. That is how that one is played out now. It has played out inch perfect. So that is exactly what has happened. As you can see, the corrective structure has now played out. We are now looking at this impulse. So in the week, we were trading continuation patterns. We got this one in the week, and then we got this few 50 pips there, and that is how that has played out. You can see that that was a setup for the week that was on Thursday. So we had a number of setups on Thursday. As you can see, we're looking for just short-term trades here. This is still in play. It's not done as yet, so we're still looking for it to go all the way to around 66 area. So looking for this to do this. Even if we may change the view and not look at this as a 1, 2, 3 and rather as a ABC structure, but that we will see when we get to this level. At this stage, we've got enough data to tell us that this is going up like that. That's what we looked at on AUD US dollar. AUDCHF was one of our trade setups. We were looking for continuation patterns. So the AUD and the New Zealand in the week had quite a bit of strength. So we were looking to trade those. So this is AUDCHF, has already made a bit of a move to the upside there. Let's just see how AUDCHF has now played out. As you can see, this is where the setup was. This is where the setup was. Not much of a move, not quite a big move. Not quite a big move as yet, but we're still looking for it to play out and continue a little bit higher, at least up to that level. That is where we're forecasting AUDCHF. So about 60 pips then, not too bad. Next one was New Zealand JPY. New Zealand JPY, we also looked at that. New Zealand JPY has not gone anywhere. It just made a move here and it has gone sideways. So we're still looking for this to continue higher. This is how it has played out so far. So as you can see, it has gone sideways, but we still have a corrective structure here. This is the latest chart, by the way. This was 12th of April, so this was yesterday, right? So this was yesterday. So we're still looking for this to continue higher. Or is the 12th of April today? I think it's today. So this is the latest chart. We're looking for this as a setup. Right, you get a free setup there, but the risk to reward may not be as good as when we got it right at the bottom. Right, so now as you can see, we're looking for very short. This is not my trading style. But when there's an opportunity and all the indicators are telling us, have confirmed, you can take one of these short-term trades. So this is Euro US dollar. As you can see, we're at 1842 here. We're just targeting for about 60 pips to around 11900. And you'll see that is exactly what has happened. It went exactly to 119 and started reversing. So this is the spike here on Euro US dollars. You can see there, we got the spike to 119. There's a free 60 pips. For some people, 60 pips is a lot, but for us, we prefer to trade a couple of hundred pips. So, but when the market is trading like this, you can only take what the market gives you. That was EURJPY. Now Pound Chief. Now Pound Chief was also one of the trade setup on Thursday. That was the 9th of April. This one has not gone anywhere together with Pound US dollar. We just made a slight move to the upside, came and tested here at the top. Came and tested the top here and started making a move to the downside. It has not really gone down as yet. So what we'll be expecting here now is that this is now going to retest the low and then make a move to the upside. So this corrective structure is now going to be a bit deeper than we anticipated. Right, so even if this means that this is going to hit our stop now, but we're going to look for another entry. So that happens, that is part of trading. Right, that is Pound Chief, Pound Chief. That is how the Pound Chief has now played out. As you can see, it broke out of the flag. Now we're looking for this one to at least retest the low here before making a move to the upside. Pound US dollar. So Pound US dollar took this one here at 24. So, you know, pound went up to about 25. It's about 100 pips up to this level. Now, is this now going to continue from here and go higher? We need to have a look at that. Let's see how this one has played out. So it's about 70 pips that it has played out. As you can see, this is now retesting the top here, but it's making another continuation pattern, which if we break here, we may be going all the way to the upside. You'll see why when we start doing market analysis, why we're expecting pound to go all the way up. There will not be anything wrong. We will not be surprised if this happens, if we get one more down here before it goes. But for now, the market, the the trend looks very strong to the upside, we may not get this, but we'll be managing this. We're already in the trade, so we are running this already risk-free, because the trade on pound, we got that from here already. Right, so that is a pound US dollar. New Zealand US dollar. So New Zealand US dollar together with Australian US dollar. This has gone about 100 pips. Let's just have a look here. It's about 100 pips already. So that is New Zealand US dollar. So that was the trade setup, as you can see. And when you look at these trade setups and how they play out, you can see that at no point does these go back to the below the stop. So this just goes all the way to the upside, because when you take this trade, we've got a special indicator that confirms that it's a trade, it's an entry. So that's why as soon as you enter, you see that this starts going into profit. Not that there's going to be anything wrong if this goes into negative and then all the way up. As long as it does not hit our stop, then it is a good trade. So that is how we're looking at it. And you can see that the trades are given here with a stop. So we're not just looking at the charts here. This is how we take the trade. So members get access to this with stops. You can see that the risk to reward here is very good. Stop loss is very narrow, but it still plays out anyway, because we've got a clear strategy that tells us how that plays out. So this is New Zealand US dollar, and those are the trades that we've been looking at in the week. Now let's see what the week looks like ahead. So we're going to start with our market analysis. Just before we start, look at my details there under the description of the videos, and you'll see that under the videos you have got timestamps for each and every pair. You can see that I talk a lot, so if you don't want to hear me, if there are some things that you're not interested in the video, you can just go straight into the timestamps and go straight to the analysis of the specific pairs that you're looking for. So you don't have to go through everything. As you can see, the video is about just over an hour, so you don't have to watch the whole hour. You can only watch the specific pairs that you are interested in. Let's start with the market analysis, and we're going to start with the cryptocurrencies. Hope you guys like my new outlook on the charts. I think it's clear with the dark mode screen. But I think if there's issues, guys, you'll give me your comments. But I think dark mode is also good on the eye as well. Let's start with the cryptocurrencies. We'll start with Bitcoin. I'm going to refer some of the setups from the analysis from the website as well, just so we can see how this looks like. So we're going to start with Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin, and I'm going to be looking at it on the site as well. So cryptocurrencies are also listed on the site. Those that I go through here, you'll find them on the site as well. Let's have a look. So what are we looking at on Bitcoin? Let's go full screen here. So Bitcoin, we're looking for continuation to the upside from current levels, even if there is a possibility of this doing just one more down here, and then we go to the upside. For now, we're looking at this current structure here as a running flat. Let's have a look at the whole structure here. Let's look at the whole structure. Why are we looking at that to make another move to the upside? So Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrencies we're looking at is follow the red here. Follow the red degree, the W in red there, that is the W in red, the X in red, and we're looking for this one to make a move here. Now, if you follow the green here, we're looking for this one. That's your W in green, Y, WXY in green. Then you've got a pullback in WXY in green. Then you've got 3 waves in WX, and now we're looking for the last Y here before we get a deeper corrective structure. So let me just get off the full screen here and switch off the labeling so we can look at this, just the structures. Let's just have a look at the structure. That is the structure. This is the red degree that I was looking at. This is the red degree that I'm looking at, WX, and then you're looking for a Y here. So we're looking for this last bit here on the cryptos to make a move to the upside and then pull back. So we're looking for 9,000 on the cryptocurrencies, on Bitcoin specifically, if we get that move to the upside. So let's see how that goes. We're going to get this one looking like a zigzag 1, 2, 3 here. Now it looks like we've already made a move, a small move to the upside. Then we're expecting this move to the upside. If this does not give us the upside here, we're going to see this by getting this corrective structure here like this. If this makes a corrective structure, we're going to change our view. Because right now we have got this clear structure. That is the clear structure that we're looking for. That structure is exactly same in degree as this one. So we'll be looking for this one and looking at this one as a pullback. So you've got this W, you've got this X, now you're looking for this Y. You're looking for this to complete this structure. So what I'm saying here is that this one can complete here to make a regular flat before we make a bounce here, right? So just watch it like that for this here. So if you see this one coming down here, it may not necessarily be going all the way. It may just be coming down to retest this low here and then bounce. So watch that. Right, so that is Bitcoin. Let's look at the rest of the cryptos. Ethereum. Let's look at that on the site here. Let's look at it on the cryptocurrencies. Let's look at Ethereum. Look at the structure for Ethereum. This was Bitcoin, just to show you the structure on Bitcoin and what it looks like on our site. So that is what we're looking at. As you can see, you can take a screenshot of that. You can go learn that if you're interested. Right, so that is the 1 hour. Now, if you want to look at this one also on the weekly, this is what we're looking at on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, there's a possibility that we go and retest the previous highs like that. But this is a weekly chart. This is a forecast. We know that it's not going to go up in a straight line. For now, we've got this move that I'm showing you currently. It's going up in 3 waves. So at this, just when we complete the last move, we should see a deeper pullback. And that deeper pullback can then be the continuation pattern to go retest the previous high here at about 13,000. So that's how we're going to be looking at this. So if that makes a move back to 13,000 in 3 waves, that means we've got 3 down here, we've got 3 up here. So that means we still need to get another pulsing move to the downside here, or 3 waves, that's fine. And then we get this structure. Then we're going to have this, we're going to have that, then this, and then a move to the upside. So let me just change this one. You can see here we started with this here. Then we're going to have one whole thing here as a correction down here, and then we start making a move to the upside. These purple lines, what you see here is this purple degree. That is the super cycle that you see on Bitcoin. It doesn't get any more detailed than that. Let's have a look now at Ethereum. Ethereum, the weekly chart. Let's look at the Ethereum weekly chart. So if you look at Ethereum, this is a pulsing move to the downside. We see another pulsing move here in a smaller degree though. That is in the blue degree. I've drawn it in yellow, but that's okay. Looking at this one now makes a 3-wave structure. This is a diagonal here. That's why it's an A, B, C. We're now going to look at this one making another 3 waves to the upside to go make the previous highs. So that's what we're looking at. This is a weekly chart, so we're going to be looking at that. So now let's look at the 1 hour on Ethereum. Let's look at the 1 hour chart on Ethereum. This is what we're looking at now. So similar to Bitcoin, we'll be looking for one more up. So we're looking at this one as a 1, as a 2. Now we're looking for one more up here because we're looking at this structure as a whole correction. Are we going to get this one more up? That's what we're looking at on the cryptocurrencies to complete these 3 waves in red. Then we're going to look for a deeper corrective structure, not necessarily a reversal, but a deeper corrective structure. Right, so that is Ethereum, and the live chart on Ethereum, as you can see, those charts are already updated. So that is the latest chart, same as where we are right now. Switch on here. So all the charts are already updated. Litecoin, let's have a look at Litecoin. Litecoin the same. So with Litecoin, we may get a bit of a move to the downside here. We've got a move up here. This is coming down correctively. Could come down here. We could have this one here, one more down, and then a move to the upside. So still the same, we're still looking for upside. Even if we just get one more down here, the structure is looking upside. So look here. So if this one looks a bit incomplete, so there's another degree here. 1, 2, 3 in green. Another 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3 in green. And then we'll be looking for this one to complete the last 3 waves in green. So we are here now. We're looking for this move, the last one here to complete the 3 waves in the red degree, which is this 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look how that plays out. That is Litecoin. Ripple. Let's look at Ripple. Ripple is a bit tricky. So we look at Ripple, but when you've clearly identified the structure, it becomes fairly straightforward. Now let's look at the green degree on a Ripple. I'm going to follow it with the green. You've got W in green there. We've got 3 wave pullback in green. Now we're looking for the last 3 waves in green. So that's why we're looking for these last moves on the cryptocurrencies to the previous ICA. So that's what we're looking for on the cryptocurrencies. 3 waves up. Now we're going to look for a deeper pullback. Now, if you look at that red degree that I've put up here, this is very modest. It may be deeper than this before we go up. We just put it there so it can be clear, because the structure may be a bit distorted if I put it too far. Right, so that's just for clarity. So this degree is much larger than what you see there, just for information and for clarity there. Those are the cryptocurrencies, looking very clear in structure. Let's look now at the indices. The indices are looking also very clear. We're just busy making corrective structures here. Let's look at the S&P 500. So there's nothing new here. I'm just going to go through the 1-hour charts. So what you see here on the S&P 500 is a continuation of the structure that we have looked at since the move here started. Right, so we've got the 3-wave structure here. We're now looking for this one to complete the 3 waves here. Right, so one more up. We still need to get one more up. This can still be a zigzag, so we're looking for that. Either we're going to have a deeper pullback that makes a double correction before we make a move to the downside. But for now, we've got enough data to tell us that the next move is to complete this structure. Let's show it in yellow. So it's all simple on the indices. We're just looking at the 1-hour corrections, correcting this 5 waves down, ABC. It's a clear textbook, basic Elliott wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. Everyone who's ever attempted to learn the wave theory knows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC correction. Is this now going to continue with the new cycle? Let's have a look how this plays out. So we're going to look at this one coming here at around this level, and then we'll see if we're going to have a pullback there. Like I said, it can make a double, but it will still come back down. Right, that is the S&P 500. You'll see that the NASDAQ also has a similar structure. Let's look at the NASDAQ on this one here. Similar structure, we're just looking for this corrective structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, textbook stuff. One more up. We're gonna start getting a move to the downside. Let's look if we've got any divergence. We may not have divergence yet because we're not in wave 3 as yet. Very light, not confirmed as yet, between waves 3 and 5 of this leg. So even if we get to the wave 5 of this leg, we are starting to see divergence, which is a good indicator that this will show a reversal. Right, so there's somebody's typing something on the chat box. Let me just see here. Victor, at the end of the session, can you please let me know how do I update my payment method as my credit card expired? Okay, we'll talk about that after the webinar. Thank you, Ben. Once I've stopped the recording, we can discuss that. All right, so that is the NASDAQ. Looking for continuation to the upside, but you can see there's divergence. We should see either a pullback or a reversal there. We'll update the structure. So that is the NASDAQ, and I don't see the Dow. So guys, if I miss any chart, my watch list has changed slightly here. But the Dow, in any case, is similar in structure to the S&P 500. Let's have a look here. It's a simple 3 waves. Or rather, I'll look at the one that is on the side. Let's look at the indices. Indices, and we look at the Dow. Simple 3 waves in all the structures. Very clear. Looking at the Dow, 1 hour. As you can see, just looking for this to update. So this is the latest chart for the weekend. So we'll be looking for this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this is in the yellow degree. This is an intermediate degree. The correction is intermediate as well. We're looking for this. We're gonna then, this is the complete cycle of the correction. We're gonna get this one to continue lower. That's what we're looking for now. Bit of a move to the upside and then downside. Those are the indices. Let's continue with the rest, and then next one is going to be the UK 100. Let's look at the UK 100. Let's have a look here. UK 100. Find it now. My watch list has changed a bit with the change of this, guys. Just 1 second. There we go. We've got the UK 100 there. Now the UK 100, following the rest of the indices, you can see that we've got a 5-wave move to the upside, and then this one is a 3-wave pullback. This B should actually be here. So we've got 3-wave pullback. We're looking for another 5 waves here to complete the structure. So we'll be looking for the UK 100 to get to that level and then a move to the downside. Next one is the DAX. Same, you can see they all have the same structure. The DAX is even showing a continuation pattern here. Even if you see this going out down here for one, that will just be making a regular flat like that. And then we'll be looking for upside. So it's a 5-wave move to the upside and a 3-wave pullback here. Then we're looking for upside. That is the DAX. Nikkei. Nikkei. It's not showing signs of reversal here. You can see there's a very strong impulse there, 1, 2. Are we going to get this one to make 5 waves? So this actually should not be 1, 2. It should be A, B, C structure. It's an error there. We'll be looking for this one to make, no. So it's actually right. We'll be looking for this one to start making an impulse to the upside. A break above this structure, we should be going for a wave 3. So watch this one because the move to the upside on the Nikkei may be much stronger than the rest of the indices. So watch that one. The reason why we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Nikkei, let's have a look at what the structure looks like on the Nikkei on the daily. It's not making an impulse to the upside. Let's have a look. So we have made a corrective structure that is 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and an impulse. This actually should be an ABC structure in yellow. The correct way for this is to be an ABC structure. Now, this is why we're starting an impulsive move to the upside to go and complete that 5 waves here on the Nikkei. So if you get a corrective structure here, as you can see, it has already started. The Nikkei may be making quite a significant move to the upside to go and test and even break the previous highs there. Let's see how that plays. That is the Nikkei. And lastly, the Nifty. We don't have the Nifty listed on the site, but we do analyze it daily. 1, 2, and then looking for continuation to the upside before any move to the downside. Very clear structures overall on the cryptocurrencies, on the indices as well. Right, let's go on to the major pairs. We'll start with the dollar index. The dollar index. So the dollar index, we're looking at this as a 5-wave move to the upside. We see this as a 3-wave pullback. Now that 3-wave pullback is in the lower degree, so it's going to be a different color, 1, 2. Is this now going to go and retest the low here? So this may be a 3-wave move to the upside, a 3-wave move to the downside, tagging this low here. So we're expecting continuation to the downside on the DXY. So if you can expecting continuation to the downside on the DXY, that means the euro should be making a bit of a move to the upside. So we'll be looking for a structure like this on the DXY. That is your ABC structure here. Okay, right, so let's look at the euro. So looking at the euro will just be the opposite of what we're looking at on the DXY. Let's look at the euro US dollar. As you can see, the euro is going to make continuation to the upside. Let's make full screen here. I hope my charts are clear and you can see them clearly. Right, so this is a US dollar, euro US dollar. We're looking for this one. It may make a move, just a slight move here to retest the low here and continue higher into the blue box, maybe even further than this. But for now, we're just looking for the blue box and the pullback, right? So as you've seen the DXY, we wanted the DXY to just make a move to the downside here like that, make a move up, but with the euro will come down, and then we'll be looking for this structure before we make this move to the downside. Right, so that is what the euro looks like for now. Bit of a move to the upside. We should see signs of reversal there from the blue box, so we can start seeing the US dollar strength return there. All right, that is euro US dollar. Let's go back to the charts here, pound US dollar. Now, pound US dollar, we are looking for continuation to the upside. Now we have come down. I've been looking to buy pound since it started doing this structure here. Not even just that structure. When it made this corrective structure, I just wanted it to continue higher with a strong impulse. But we can see now that that move on pound is starting. It's got a deeper corrective structure here, which is a waveform. So we've been also buying the current leg. So that's what you saw also on the trade setups. So there was a setup on the pound, there was another setup on the pound. So there's already 3 entries on the pound. The next one has not confirmed it yet. If it confirms, we're looking for the pound US dollar to continue all the way to the top. So that's what we're going to be looking at here on pound. So what will happen if this makes a move like this? And then we start seeing downside. If we start seeing downside, that means we may be extended here. We may have, or we may have this one pulling back here like that, and then starting a move to the upside. So that means that is wave 1 with a diagonal, leading diagonal. Wave 1 of the lower degree, and we continue higher. This will be this wave 1 in purple. Actually, it will be this purple, same degree as the purple, and then we start looking for this one to continue higher. So we are here now. Look for this one to break higher. If it doesn't and it does this, do not try to sell the pound as yet. We're still looking for upside. Maybe even do this and then go up. Either way, we're looking for this to continue higher. Why are we looking for pound to continue higher? Let's look now again on the site. Let me remove some of this. It's already too many windows now here. Let's go back to the site again and look at the US dollar pairs. US dollar pairs, let's have a look now. These are the latest charts. So pound US dollar on the weekly, this is why we're still expecting continuation to the upside, as you can see. We forecasted, if you remember last week, we looked at pound to come and reverse here. That's already 1,000 pips to the upside. When this was coming down from here, we traded 1,000 pips as well. We got out of there, and then we didn't trade the rest of the 500 pips because we wanted this one to just make 1, 2, 3, and then continuation to the upside. Now, this is 1,000 pips, which we've seen. Now, since then, we have been in this corrective structure. That is the one that I've been showing. Now, we're looking for this to go right to the top of this diagonal. That is why I'm looking for only upside on the pound pair. So if this comes down here, that changes the structure, and we're going to have to reevaluate what is on here. So we have to adjust the structure. For now, that is what we're looking for. We're looking for more upside on pound. All right, so there's also a possibility that this is making an expanding flat, just makes a move, come back down, breaks the low, and then goes. So that will be an expanding flat. So there's still that possibility, but if it gives us an entry, we take it. That's pound US dollar CAD. Now, US dollar CAD on the 1 hour, we're looking for a corrective structure here. So we may see US dollar CAD make a bounce at current levels like that, and then continue lower. All right, that is US dollar CAD, simple as that. So if it does not make a bounce here, we'll see this by retesting the top here, making this corrective structure. So if it's a corrective structure at this level, that means we're going to continue lower from current levels. That means that our X is now going to be here. So no trade here on US dollar CAD. We just need to confirm the structure that we have there. US dollar CHF, same structure as the DXY. So US dollar CHF, continuation to the downside. We should expect continuation to the downside on the DXY to that level. In any case, we're looking for weakness on the US dollar short term, at least to that level on US dollar CHF. So any setup for downside, you take it. It's not aggressive, it's not strong moves. As you've seen with the setup that I've shown on Audi US dollar, this one was quite strong, not as slow as the other ones, but mostly they have been slow. You'll see as we go through as we go through New Zealand US dollar. So Audi US dollar, this is the one here. I showed you the setup where we expected the correction. We don't trade this. Why don't we trade corrections? This is a roller coaster of emotions if you're in this trade. So it breaks out of this structure, still does not give us a clear entry. So the nice entry was this one that we got in the week. And then now we're looking for this to make a continuation pattern to the upside. So we're still looking for continuation to the upside. So that means weakness in the US dollar. There's strength in the Australian dollar. So we should be seeing this. We should see this one continue higher. Maybe even higher than what I've forecasted if it starts making a pulsing move from current levels. We've got enough data now to see that this is continuing to the upside. No signs of reversal as yet. New Zealand US dollar, you can see it's also making a continuation pattern. As soon as our indicator confirms, then we can ride the trend again. We already took the trade from here, already shown you the structure, the setup from here, and then we're looking for that. So you'll see that we have forecasted this on New Zealand and Audi before we got this correction and this upside. That is a forecast. Even if you know the direction, it does not mean that you are selling here and then you're buying there. There is a specific strategy that you use to take the trades, because even if you've got a strategy, I mean, you cannot be trading corrections. You want to trade moves like this. These are strong, fast moves that don't take you through a roller coaster ride of emotions. So now that's why we've got this one now here. We're looking for this one to continue higher. You should make some money here, even with this, just with these videos. US dollar ZAR, we finally saw some pullback here on US dollar ZAR on the ZAR against the US dollar. We should see a three-wave pullback. A three-wave pullback that will continue lower again before any move continues to the upside on the US dollar. Let's have a look here full screen. Let's just go and look at this one into a bit more detail. Now looking at this one here, we may get something like this. A move down here before we continue to the upside. Right, so we saw the three waves here. We saw the pullback. This looks like three waves again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's W, X, and the Y may have completed here. So if that is the case, that means we may see this one making a bit of a move to the upside here and continue lower again. So if this is the end of the corrective structures, so not continue lower, we need to get out of that structure and see a correction like that to see this one retest the top again. All right, so that is US dollar against the South African rand. Right, a bit of a relief there for South Africans. This has been in all-time highs, even went as high as 1934. 1934. All right, so that is US dollar ZAR. Now let's go to the yen pace. Right, so don't do anything on pound yen immediately. So what we saw here on pound yen in the week, we also traded this. We also traded this with the rest of the yen pairs. We also traded this. We saw this one was confirmed by the indicator. It was about 100 pips. So we now see this one coming down here. We see the three waves here. It's coming down here. So when it gets to this level, we should see this one continuing higher. Right, so let's have a look at this structure and the setup, or the forecast rather, not the setup. Let's look at the yen pairs, because this one is a bit tricky to just take at current levels. We'll look at it in relation to the rest of the yen pairs. Now let's look at pound yen. Pound yen weekly chart, we're looking for this to continue higher. We are currently here, we're looking for this to make a move to the upside. Why? It's because we saw the three waves up here, we saw the three waves coming down here, and the three waves that we're expecting here currently. At this stage, we've only made one, the first leg of the three waves that we're expecting here. It was the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, not like that, sorry. So we've got this one here. You see we've got a leading diagonal there, a three-wave move there, and a pulsing move there. Now we've made the first leg here. We are looking at this corrective structure and then continuation to the upside. Let's go to that corrective structure here. Do not rush it. Let's go to the 4-hour. Now when you look at this, let's go full screen. I'll remove one line there. Now, when you look at this, there are two possibilities here. either this is a 3 waves down, this is another 3 waves up. Are we gonna get this one coming down here and then make a move to the upside like that? Now, if that does not happen, what you need to see on pound yen, because this is gonna be a strong move to the upside when it starts. You could have something like this, a clear corrective structure. What you see there is 3 waves first to the downside, X and a Y. This will be a corrective structure. If this is a corrective structure and it plays out, then you can ride onto this all the way to the upside as forecasted on the weekly chart. So for now, we can see that there's a bit of a pulsing move here. There's a corrective structure here. It could come back just here and also continue higher. But what we are looking for here is confirmation of upside, and that is where our indicator comes in. It can make a single corrective structure as I'm showing you here, or it can make a double. Now we will know whether it's a single or a double based on our indicator. Either we're gonna get that or we're gonna get it there. A double should possibly even retest here. Even if it does not retest, that means this is a running flat. It can go from there. So do not rush this one. It's a very good trade for upside eventually, but it should come and retest the low here, or at least a deeper pullback before making a continuation move to the upside. So we'll be watching this one in the week. I might even do a 5-minute video during the week when this one starts confirming. Right, so that is pound yen, US dollar yen. Structurally, US dollar yen, we're just gonna forecast that it's gonna go with the DXY, so we should see it continue a bit lower, maybe even retest the previous lows here, right? So, I mean, we know that US dollar yen is correlated to the DXY. We're focusing DXY downside, so we should see US dollar yen continue lower. All right, that is US dollar yen. We had this one here. We looked, last week we were looking at this one to drop from current levels to make this structure. When it looked like it was correcting, it looked like that structure was invalidated, but it looks like it's coming down now. This is not necessarily a trade. There's not trade setup. Unless there's a trade setup, then we can take it minimum to this level and even lower. That is pound yen, euro yen. So euro yen, let's have a look. Euro yen, let's go for 1 hour first. Very interesting structure as well. We're just going sideways here. What we have here is a move to the upside, and then we get a 3-wave move to the downside. We've got these 3 waves. This is the one that we traded the 60 pips to this level. Now it's making another 3 waves to the downside. We're gonna see it come down here to this level. Now it looks like a mess when you look at it like that, but let's switch off the labelings and all these structures. When you look at this, it's a very clear structure. This is 3 waves down, this is 3 waves up, this is 3 waves down. That is clear WXY structure. So there's no structure that is too complex. Then we'll look for this one here. So it means the euro may be making a bit of a move to the downside, maybe retest the low here before we make a move to the downside, making this nice regular flat here. So let's see how that plays out. CHFJPY should be similar structure. We see 3 waves down, we see 3 waves up. We're looking at this one to make the same here to the downside. Let's do this. Let's go through with the lower degree. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3. Why does it always move in 3 waves? That's how wave theory works. It's 3 waves down, W, X, and then a Y. Then we'll be looking for continuation to the upside eventually, right? So what we have here is a continuation pattern that is a regular flat continuation to the upside. But for now, we'll expect it to come down first. We already have a move to the downside. It's correcting that move. Now we're looking for this to continue higher after the retest of this low here. Very clear structures. Good money for the next week, even in this ranging market. CAD yen. CAD is looking slightly different because it looks like it's going to come and test the top here. Test this top, make a move down here. We already have 1, 2, 3 there, and let's have a look here. Looking at this whole corrective structure on the 1 hour. That's the corrective structure that we're looking at. We saw this move coming down here. We're seeing this 3-wave pullback. We're seeing this wanting to make another 3 waves there. It's a bit complex. That when that is complete, then we should see this one making a move to the upside. Let's clean it up. So what we're going to have here is a move down here in 3 waves W. The whole degree here is, the whole yellow degree will be a X, and then a Y, and then we look for continuation to the upside. So bit of a sideways move on the yen pairs before continuation to the upside. So watch these structures because they're going to continue higher. They're not coming down. Audi, upside. Audi was one of the trades that we looked at on Thursday. This was the setup. This was continuation to the upside. This is another one. We're still looking for continuation to the upside. So Audi is still strong. So look for upside. Why are we looking for upside? Looking simply for this. Looking for this one. 3 waves up, 3 waves back, and then move to the upside. Is this 3 waves? Just need to see if we're not going to get a deeper one and then an upside. But the trend is upside here, but you don't want to buy this after making such a big move already, right? So that is Audi yen, just to show you what the structure looks like there. This is not the latest update. It's not the latest update. The latest update are not the yen. This one is not updated. So just look for continuation pattern on the yen there. New Zealand yen, the same. We got 3 waves to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pull back. So that's W, that's X, that's Y. We're looking for continuation pattern to the upside. I showed you this one during trade setups that we have already taken the trade here. We're looking for continuation to the upside. See what's on the chart box. Ola Jones is looking for labels. Yeah, NASDAQ is already done. Labels on which chart? On which chart are you looking for labels? You want me to switch on the labelings? Okay. On all the charts. Okay. Right. So sometimes I take it off so just so you can see the structure. Right. So you're looking for that continuation to the upside. That is New Zealand. And that's all on the yen pairs. Let's look at the commodities. Gold, if you look at gold, we have been looking for continuation to the upside on gold and silver from this correction here. So this is a corrective structure, 3 waves down here. Looks like a pullback here and another 3 waves down. So this structure is WX. This one looks impulsive, but it is actually 3 waves when you go into the lower degree. So that's WXY and continuation to the upside. Last week in our group, we saw the confirmation here on gold for upside. So we're still looking for continuation to the upside. I'll look at the gold structure now and what the expectation is on the higher degree and why we're looking for upside to show you the whole structure. So this was a pullback. We were looking for only continuation patterns to the upside. We saw this one last week. This is where we took the trade last week on our group. So that is how the structure looks. Let's look at the commodities, what gold looks like. Let's look at gold. Looking at gold, let's look at the whole structure on gold so you can understand where we're coming from. Gold, the overall structure is this one here to the upside. So gold is actually looking very interesting. You can take a snapshot of this and go learn this or go mark your charts. We're looking at this as a wave A in white and a B in white and then downside. This structure may change. And if that structure changes, that means instead of looking at this as a pulsing move, we could be looking at this as a double correction. Unfortunately, that is not something that you can identify with the naked eye. Right now, we're seeing a pulsing move. We're seeing a pulsing move that ends with a diagonal WXY. Now, if this is all the structure on gold, let's say it plays out this way. That means gold is going to go to all-time highs. It's gonna go all-time highs. Why will it go to all-time highs? That means this will have been the leg, and it's actually starting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means we're still gonna see quite significant upside on gold. This level here will be the decider on gold. This is what we're targeting now. We're currently looking at this as a 5-wave move up here, but it's already getting overextended here, starting to invalidate. Anything more than 1,618, we're invalidating this as a 3-wave structure. Then it's going to start being a 1, 2. But we've got enough data to trade upside up until 1900. So any continuation to the upside, we're going to 1900 on gold. Right? So up until here, when we start seeing a corrective structure here around these levels, then we know that gold is going to go to all-time highs. All right, so that is what we're going to be looking at here. Now let's go into the structure here and look at the I need to show you the lower another degree, the daily. If you look at the daily, that's the daily structure there. You can see we've got this as a 1, this is a 1, 2. Now what you're seeing here in red is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Now that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comes with an expanding flat for a wave 4 in yellow. One, let me do it in yellow. Expanding flat in yellow, like that. After the expanding flat, we didn't mention that this is going to continue to the upside. That's where the corrective structure you saw there, and then it's making a move to the upside. We're still looking for even further upside. The first target will be around 1741, and then eventually 1.618. Okay, so it's continuation to the upside on gold and silver. Let's go to the chart here. What you're getting here is continuation to the upside. You can continue buying this, put your stop there, and continue to the upside. Another $40 per ounce here, you can still buy here to the upside. There's still more on gold, so we're still looking for much more upside. Silver, exactly the same. Just look at silver 4 hour, looking for more upside. As you can see, we've started with a pulsing move. Looks like we're starting the 5-wave move to the upside on silver. Let's look at the actual silver structure here. You've got a corrective structure here on silver. This is on the 1 hour. This is an expanding, a running flat rather. 1, 2, 3. What you see here is because it's a 1 hour chart, and it's because we were on a holiday on Friday, so there was nothing during these hours. So TradingView should not have put on this. It should have just been empty there, so there's nothing there. So your structure actually ends there. Don't consider this into your analysis. That's basically nothing. Right, expanding, running flat. Look for correction here, and then continuation to the upside. Okay, so that is silver. Let's look at the daily structure on silver. Daily on silver, that's what you're looking for. Continuation, any corrective structure, you take it to the upside. And then 1 hour on silver. So I'm giving a bit more detail here. Continuation to the upside. All right. Let's see what's on the chat box. Somebody's asking me where I've learned this. Let's continue with the market analysis, guys. Let's ask relevant questions for now. If you can ask any question after I end the video. If you have time, could you please look at, okay, yeah, we'll look at that at the end. Right, so anything that you don't, that's not related to what we're analyzing now, guys, I'll have 5 minutes at the end of the webinar to take your questions. All right, that is silver, and what we're looking at on silver. Oil, look for continuation to the downside. We're looking for a wave 4 here on oil. Let me just give you a 4 hour structure on oil so you can see what we're looking at, or rather daily is going to be a lot clearer. So that is the daily structure. We've completed the wave 4 here in blue. We're looking for downside on oil again. So oil, we're still looking for up for downside to complete that wave 5. We're going to have another pullback. We're going to have another last one to the downside. The rest of the structures are there. I just don't want to go into much more detail than that. So looking for downside, that is the structure on oil. Let's look at the pound pairs. So pound chief, let's start with pound chief. So pound chief, you saw that this was our trade setup here. We attempted to buy it here, made a move, we just tested the top here, but now it looks like it's gonna retest the low first before it goes. So that's simple structure on pound chief. Pound chief, looking for upside. Now, it's possible that you get pound Audi and pound New Zealand doing complete opposite of what the rest of the pound pairs are doing. That's because they may be driven by the Audi and the New Zealand. As you've seen, the Audi and the New Zealand are quite strong currently. So I'm still expecting continuation to the downside on pound Audi. So pound Audi, very interesting structure. Let's go to the pound pairs. Very interesting structure on pound Audi. There's been a 2-year correction. That looks like it has come to an end. So now look for downside on pound Audi. Let's look at pound Audi. Pound Audi weekly. Now, if you look at pound Audi on the weekly, we see this. Look, follow the blue degree. We have got 3 waves to the upside. Why am I saying 3 waves? That's the yellow 1, 2, 3, the WXY. 3 waves in the blue again, 1, 2, 3 in the yellow as well. And this structure, it looks like pound Audi may have completed this correction that started at the end or towards the back end of 2016. If that is the end, all you're gonna be looking for is continuation patterns to the downside for over 7,000 pips to the downside. But we don't take it all in one go. So the first, if we get a clear corrective structure, you're taking it back to this level here, and then eventually you're gonna take it down to this level. It has to go down in an impulse for us to confirm that it's gonna break this one here. So we have ended here. We have been following this correction right from when it started here. Okay, so now this looks like it's eventually the end. So now let's look at if we're gonna get this one here. Let's look at the lower degree structure here on pound Audi. It has come down in a 3-wave structure so far. This is W, this is X, this is Y. Is this 3 waves? If it's not 3 waves, we're gonna see it by continuing lower than this. But for now, we can see we've got enough data to tell us that it's gonna continue lower here. Pound New Zealand, similar. Continuation to the downside. Look for continuation to the downside on pound New Zealand. This one could do this and continue lower. Pound CAD, we've been attempting to buy pound CAD for a while now. It looks like it's gonna give us a deeper corrective structure or a double correction. So after this correction on pound CAD, we were looking for this one to just go up like that, but it looks like it's gonna give us a double correction here. 1, 2, 3 before we make a move to the upside. So let's see here if we've got a confirmation for downside here. It will go down here, even if it comes down in 3 waves, back to that level and then continue lower before going up. Let's switch everything off there. Let's switch off here. That is the structure on pound CAD. It's a move down in 3 waves, a pullback in 3 waves, and another downside. Then we'll look for it to continue higher. No setup on pound CAD anymore. We have invalidated that setup. It didn't go as we wanted it to. Now looking at the euros. Now the euros, watch euro pound. If we're looking for euro for the pound pairs to make one more to the upside, this one is clearly going to make a move to the upside. Target this area on euro pound. Target that area because that will be a 3-way move to the downside, 3 up, 3 down, and then move to the upside, and then continuation to the downside. If you remember US dollar pound, we currently made a move like this. It looks like we made a 3-way move like that. So we may get one more down before we make a move to the upside. Pound chief also. Let me draw these structures. So pound chief, look at pound chief and euro pound. So if you look at pound chief, looks like we've got 3 waves. Looks like we've got 3 waves. Right? Why is that 3 waves? It's 1, it's 2, it's 3. Why is this one 3 waves? It's 1, it's 2, it's 3 here. Are we gonna see another 3 waves here? That's the move that we forecasted to the downside. If we see that, then we expect this to continue higher. Now let's go to euro pound. Okay, that structure for pound chief is still there. Now let's look at euro pound. You'll see that is the complete opposite. What do we see there on euro pound? We see 3 waves up in red. 1, 2, 3. What do we see here? We see also another 3 waves to the downside. So this actually should be 1, 2, 3 there. Let me draw it cleanly. 1 there, 2 there, and then 3 there. Right, so what do we expect? We're expecting that this one is going to give us 1, 2, 3. What structure will that be? So that means after this, we should see continuation to the upside on a pound chief, and then we should see continuation to the downside on euro pound, just because of the pound in it. So next session, we're looking for pound upside back to 88.90, and we're looking for pound chief back to 9.90. Sorry, it's not going to be the same values here. For euro pound, that is what you're going to be looking at. For pound chief, you have to look at what the scale is giving you there. So pound chief, I've already moved the scale, but we're going to be looking for it to retest the low there. Very clear correlation, as you can see. Let's do the rest of the euro pairs. That was the euro pound. Now looking at euro New Zealand. So euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand is a move up. We're looking for continuation to the downside. Although it's not aggressive, you don't want to sell this because it's making a base here. It's making a base. We should see this one down here and then upside. Let's have a look here. The structure, as you can see, that's what we are focusing. One more down and then upside. Euro Audi should give us one more down as well and then upside. One more down and then upside. EURCAD. EURCAD, one more down as well. Looking for downside. It's a corrective structure. It's going to come down before we make a move to the upside. EURJPY, same as the rest of the euro pairs. We're looking for one down and then upside. Even though this can make a structure like this, we see 3 waves up here. This can be another move, one up before we come down, but we're not looking to trade this. So we're just going to watch this one and let it give us more data. Now, looking at the AUD pairs, you saw that there's strength in the AUD and the New Zealand pairs. So expect continuation to the upside on the New Zealand pairs. This was one of our trade setups last Thursday. Look for this to continue higher on AUD New Zealand. Your AUDCHF, one of the trade setups that we took right here. You saw the setup there and then upside. Continuation here to the upside as I mentioned during trade setups. These are very easy because you're just looking for these small flags for continuation. AUDCAD, you're just looking for these flags. You're just looking for these flags. This is another one. When it confirms, you take it up. That's all you do on the AUD pairs. AUD and the New Zealand pairs, they're looking strong. This is another setup on New Zealand CAD. It's going to push higher in the next week. When it confirms, it's going to make a move to the upside. Very simple analysis on these ones, but it's short-term trades. These are not the big moves, right? So this is a New Zealand chief. As you can see, another 3 waves here, looking for more upside. Continuation to the upside. So New Zealand and the AUD strength in the next coming sessions. CAD chief. CAD chief, bit of strength, even if that strength will just be to come and retest this top here. So with that, we can get something like this: 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, and then 1 down before we actually go to the upside. So that is the analysis on the crosses there. And that's all I have for you this week, guys. If I missed any of the pairs that we usually go through, you can let me know. But otherwise, that's all for this week. Trade responsibly. Have a great week, guys. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Happy trading. So many peeps ahead. Don't forget, our course starts on Tuesday, the 14th of April. Have a great week. Cheers. Bye-bye.